A lovely Saturday night radio on Fila FM 89.3. Welcoming you to Love 360 on your Real Talk Radio. Of course, we went on a long break and resumed last week, Saturday, educating you on cervical cancer. So, today is the 1st of February 2025, and February is the month of love, right? Of course, it is the month of love, and we are celebrating love throughout the month of February. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I really do hope that your love life will go well for you. And today we want to discuss a very, very interesting topic. I don't know if you have ever been involved in an online relationship. Have you ever been involved in an online relationship? Well, that's what we're going to be discussing tonight on the show Daybreak. Hey, Sasa. Love 360. Yes, I love 360. So as you are you are listening to us, we are also live on Facebook. That's a Fila FM 89.3. Join us on Facebook, and as you join us also remember to share so that others can join. You can share your thoughts, you can share your experiences with us. We will open the phone lines from 9 o'clock onwards. We'll open the phone lines. If you're also watching us on Facebook, you can send in your comments, share your thoughts, share your experiences with us. If you have been in an online relationship, how meaningful can it be? Okay, so what we are actually looking at today is the evolution of intimacy, how intimacy has actually evolved. How it has actually evolved. So the question is, can online relationships be equally meaningful and fulfilling as offline ones or the in-person ones? Can it be as meaningful and fulfilling as the in-person, the face-to-face relationship? So with me in the studio tonight, I have Titus Osei Bobie, and we're still waiting for Suedu to join us. It is coming up to 8:30 already, so we'll begin. And if Suedu join us, and we'll continue with it, or he'll join us. But for now, we will begin with the show. Thanks to our Godfred, the technician on duty, and also making sure we look nice and beautiful on Facebook as well. My name is Akosia Kwatema Boache. You can call me AKB, as I take the opportunity to welcome my Titus. Titus, good evening.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say. Last week, so yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Me co-host
Yeah,
no.
co-host,
I me co-host no. So last week not me ni ho and eja or yeah, the 2025 opening of Laugh 360.
Yes,
I hope say ko ye.
Oh, it was a privilege.
You nti fe na me no we share me ma official pa bi.
I've been committed.
Afese say na ye te say ya na
Pepe.
ye tu nkrofo fo e wo
I am on for worry.
I had the day.
The.
So this our topic now is interesting though. It's very, very, very interesting. The evolution of intimacy. So Titus, first of all, how has intimacy evolved?
Well, when you look at since creation, from creation and how humans have evolved through times, one critical factor that is evidence in the growth of human being is the introduction of new things.
Okay.
And technology has become one of the best inventions in the 20th century. You can find it's booming. There were times where entertainment was just walk physically to event centers. Most entertainment, you could say, by the fireside, every kind of intimacy you were going to have with people were physical.
Physical, yeah.
And for you to enjoy it, you had to be present at that places. If we are going to a funeral, a party, or I mean, if someone, your husband should travel to a funeral somewhere, you had no form of contact to the person that will build intimacy between the two of you. So we started from physical, and then the absence, we long for the person. Then the person comes, then our longness, while we long for the person, we show it how we have missed the people over a period of time. Presently, it's not like that. We are in an age where I've even skipped the age of letter writing. We came to an age where the post office was very effective.
Yeah.
So it became letter writing. I remember when we were in school, we were doing pen pals. You go and then you pick some friends and you write letters to them,
yeah.
and they responded. And you can imagine how long it took for one letter to go from UK and come. I remember even when we were in secondary school, we were writing letters to different schools. People love letters. I mean, when your letter, if you don't get letters at school, sometimes people tell you, the girls especially, every time the letter guy comes, people were expecting letters, and those who couldn't get letters were laughed at. Hey, you are gnashing and something like that. Then here we are with technology in the 90s, and then in the 20s we have the booming technology has boomed. Mobile phone, computer on your device, in the palm of your hands. So a period now where it was our basic form of intimacy was being physically present. Now technology has made some changes to it and then added probably value or devalue what was already existing, depending on the individual. So that is how far we've come with intimacy, with our fellow human beings or in our relationships.
All right. Thank you very much. So it has really, really, really evolved when it comes to intimacy. So, talking about the how it has evolved, taking technology into consideration. When we talk about online relationship, what is it, or what does it mean to be in an online relationship?
Okay, so being online is the use of internet. Actually, a gadget. You have a gadget. The normal way of relationship that we are all aware is where you meet a partner, talk to the person physically.
Okay.
But in an online space, it means that this person is not physically present with you. He or she finds themselves at a distance where you may not necessarily reach out to them.
Okay.
You may not get access to them physically. Therefore, you deploy a medium in which you would use to do the things that were being done in a normal relationship. And that is using the phones, computers, different devices,
Okay.
where it allows you to mimic or it allows you to create the environment that the physical situation could have done for you. So anything online means you are using the internet medium to do it. So when we say online relationship, online intimacy, it means using the internet through a device that is connected to the net to reach one person or the other, to create that environment that was existing or that could have existed in a normal relationship between two human beings. So that is an online relationship.
Okay. Thanks very much. And then the reverse one is the face to
physical,
face.
yeah, face to
The
face,
physical
yeah,
face to face
where you are in
kind of relationship.
exactly.
All right. So then let's look at the difference. If in actual fact it's the same, can we say that online relationship is the same as distance relationship, or there's difference?
Well, it's the same and different.
Okay.
It's the same because they are all relationships.
Okay.
And the difference is that this time one person is away, or geographically both of you don't find yourself in
One place.
Now the difference, the physical relationship every physical relationship can also be online. It can also be distance. Okay, because when you propose to a girl, the girl doesn't live with you in the house, she lives elsewhere. But most of the time we say a relationship is distance when getting to the person or reaching the person, going to the person, the person is outside your geographical location. So if you are in a particular district and the person exists outside, it could be termed as distance relation.
Okay.
So sometimes people classify distance based on the number of hours you take to reach your partner. But basically, or popularly, distance relationships are relationships that you and the person don't live. You live very far away. It may take several hours to reach the person. Accra,
Okay.
Kumasi, Accra, Tamale. It means if you want to, you have an emergency, you can't get to the person within an hour or two, or the person can't reach you, can't have access to you the number of times that they want to, then we can classify it as a distance relationship. The distance, as you know, some of the distance are longer, some are shorter, some are there and there, depending. But in a nutshell, or in some way, all relationships start in a form of distance. Then when the distance enlarges, you move from the normal relationship into a distance relationship proper. In fact, some people are in some kind of relationship. If you call it distance, it's even an understatement. And because you are in a relationship here and your one is in abroad, that one, if you say distance, you are even understating
The
the
distance.
distance. Because that one takes a whole lot for you to get together, a whole lot of planning, and I mean, you are here and your spouse or your partner is in Japan and you call it distance. I'll have to find a name for that. But from here to Kumasi, Tamale to Accra,
And
but,
that distance is more than the word distance.
distance,
right?
but in Ghana, if both of you are in Ghana but just different regions, you can classify it as distance.
Distance relationship. And I agree, because ABR, like you're saying, Accra, Kumasi, once in a while you can visit, but the abroad one that you cannot even go.
And only ever find you very diamond.
Na ABR Oba once in 2 years.
We need to find a name for that. Because distance is distance, the emphasis.
As you're ready for
Very diamond.
and the man asemu. Asem papa. Now so the online relationship can still looking at the technology, taking technology into consideration. Could it also be like, okay, we saw each other maybe on Facebook, I saw you on WhatsApp, this that. Is that what we can really say we pan a online relationship or something?
Exactly.
And I say Abia, okay, me pel, but I leave you internally, like you're saying, like the distance one, and then probably I travel, and now the relationship becomes an online one.
Okay. Now, in the relationship circles, when we say a relationship is online, it means that the relationship was initiated. That means it started
Online.
and thriving online.
Okay.
It means you didn't see the person physically to propose to.
Okay.
You started the whole relationship process online. You've not you didn't physically meet the person. So if somebody say, "Oh, where's the guy?" It's an online relationship. It means that both of you have not met, and most of your proposals, your acceptance, your chopping of love, everything is online. Then we can put your relationship as online relationship. Now it means that in your relationship about 90%, generously 90% of contacts or 90% of activities within that relationship could be online. So we will just weigh some of the options or some of the things normal relationship does, and if yours majority of some of the activities are used through this digital means, then we can fully say online. When most of the time, as I said, if anyone says I'm in an online relationship, they are really talking about the fact that they met the person on one of the medias, they propose there, they are in the process of still winning the person, or they are planning everything, or most of the things that they do is online. Even if they have met themselves once in a while, but still most of their communication and most of the activities they do is online. And then we can say this kind of relationship is an online relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the difference between the online and then the in-person,
Yes.
and the distance relationship as well.
So distance relationship, the people met and possibly a distance was created. There could be a distance relationship that is also online.
Okay.
But when you create an online relationship that is distance, is an online relationship.
Online distance
Online
relationship.
distance relationship.
But in fact,
Ah.
most online relationships will definitely be distance.
Exactly. And there are people
And then the
who
distance relationship will also now become an
online
online
relationship. Perfect. So you see the transitioning.
Oh,
It's a transition
yes,
and then
yes, yes.
amalgamation of somebody was proposed to physically, and all of a sudden they became distance, and their relationship moved from the physical one to an online.
To an online,
Uh-huh.
yes, yes.
But you see, the dynamics are plenty, and each of the dynamics, the combination of how things happen, gives a different flavor and flair to the relationship. Those who were proposed to physically before a distance was created between them, they have a certain kind of advantage and disadvantage and flair. And those who don't even have not seen each other, everything happen online, they also have their own kind of flair. It's a mixture. Okay, both of all of you have things that will be evident and things that you will lack and things that you may crave for that you may not get
Okay.
in that aspect. Uh-huh.
All right. So from all that we've said, looking at the online, the face to face or in person, the distance now, how meaningful it's online relationship? How meaningful is it compared to the face to face or the physical one?
We can't underestimate the online relationship. We can't really underestimate it. In the space of technology, where we have come, how far we have come in the world right now. Every little thing that comes has impact on human beings. Um, how meaningful? Human interaction is critical.
Okay.
We are social beings. That is what the sociologists and those people tell us. That we are social beings. It means at every point in time, we find ourselves wanting to belong and wanting to be among people. Sometimes the means, depending on the individual, the means may not necessarily suit one person or the other. Uh-huh. So someone who has certain features and characteristics may find online relationship very meaningful, very, very meaningful, and they will thrive and survive
Okay.
in that environment. Others will see it as a nuisance. I can't. They literally tell you, I can't. No, this one there. In fact, some, based on their persona, may not even go in at all, will not even think about it at all. There are a lot of people in people's DM trying to make approach, but because of their nature and persona, they don't even mind even responding to some of these messages. Yes, so an individual's personality is critical. It will make the online relationship meaningful to the person or not. So it all boils down to the individual, their makeup, their experiences, and whether they will choose such an option or not. But we can't say it is not meaningful. COVID will tell you a lot, that most people survived through that period because of the online activities. And since that period, it has also boomed the online relationship into another level.
Okay.
So it is very critical and it's very meaningful to most people in our days now. I mean, the Gen Z is very meaningful to them.
But let's come to intimacy. Okay, when it comes to relationships. So with the online ones and then the in-person ones, how fulfilling can this relationship be when it comes to intimacy?
Okay, we see, intimacy is a very broad word,
Okay.
and the intricacies of it, when you just think about it on the surface, you may make an error. The diversity of intimacy is also there.
Okay.
The physical one, we have physical intimacy, we have emotional intimacy, we have spiritual intimacy. I mean, broadly, these are the three ones that we can classify most of the intimacy we know. And at each time we crave for any of these three that I have spoken about. And online, these days, you can achieve all three, all two. You can achieve two online, but one. That's the physical one.
Okay.
But when it comes to the emotional, and then the spiritual, emotional or psychological, and the spiritual intimacy, you can achieve. We are in a space where people do online services, and still people receive miracles. People are able to feel closer to God. So
touch the
TV screen, put water on the TV screen, touch the radio. And so it's people were still doing church service during the COVID period, and people were still feeling the presence of God. They had that intimacy in that environment. Then when you look at the things that fuel this intimacy that we are talking about, and in the online forum, you can still have these blocks that will build intimacy, except physical intimacy. Now, most of the time, physical intimacy comes along with sex and other things, but online can produce that physical touch. I'm actually doing a ball in you. I say, "Unfoni, ewo ho de, but nipadua no wo de, ejuma wo ye." Nipadua no wo de ejuma wo ye. Good. So with
unfoni enu unim duase.
Man, nipadua no wo de ejuma wo ye. Enti nipadua no wo de ejuma wo ye enti, since the body has a role it plays in intimacy, you can achieve the emotional, the spiritual one in your space. Constant communication, talks, all those things. There are other petty things you may not achieve fully. You may not get certain things fully because there are certain things, unless you use your eye to see, Fidi Gadochi and Shemungani. You see, so those who are built, some are built differently to trust easily. These are things that come together to raise, to strengthen intimacy. But the online, remember that we came from somewhere. We came from a space where we have been physical all our lives. Our grandparents, parents, and all those people have been physical. So in the space that we are now, since we came from a physical space where we use everything, physical contact, so to assess relationship and other things, maybe in the future, online relationship will boom, will be better and more stable than it is now. Depending on the generation that you were born. You know, those who were born in the 90s where computer was not there, when those who were born where at the time where they were chasing women by throwing stones and other things to the betweeners, those who were doing betweeners in that state, they will build intimacy, or they will like intimacy in the physical means. The Gen Zs are learning how to build intimacy online, and research has also confirmed that yes, online relationship doesn't take much from the physical one. Intimacy can be built through that same meaning. Just that the level of intimacy in a physical relationship, I mean, it's like equalizer. Sometimes you get it high, other times you get it low. Sometimes you get it full, other times you get it half, depending on the individual in that space. Yes, so intimacy can be achieved in the online. As to whether you can achieve it 100% or more, it depends on the individual. It's another thing altogether. Yes.
Is that where maybe they tell you, okay, send me your picture, I want your nude picture, okay, you touch here, you touch there.
Why are they? What be so the uncle? So we are saying that online relationship there, Obikai, I say online relationship, and one Obi say who only boga de tia, and one de bia and a child kusha kumanifastan in the child if I say Ubi child for Sugan here besa Ebema. So all these things they are doing is trying to achieve the intimacy that the physical
But
presence
can you
brings.
actually achieve that intimacy
You see,
with this?
it will feel different. It feels different, but it also stimulates the certain kind of hormones that is needed. Not completely though,
Okay.
because when two people are together, hugging, holding hands, all these things produce certain hormones that builds intimacy. But when you are online, you lack all this. It means that you will grow to your relationship will produce a different kind of intimacy between the two of you. You may be used to certain kind of things to replace the physical one, that if you don't take care, sometimes even going back becomes a whole lot of issue. You see, relationship has its standard. Most of the time I say, those of us who are married and our spouses are away, we are not married yet. Anytime you don't live in your house within the year, you don't live more than 6 months, even 8 months with your partner, you are not really married. Oh, that be comedy. Whatever your marriage has to go through, after you have settled home, you must pay the price.
Okay.
For it, because there are certain things you must get used to within that environment, physically, emotionally, psychologically. Do you know that when you go away and you come, things look perfect? Everything looks perfect. Your wife's tolerance or your partner's tolerance becomes top notch. Then after a week or two, wahala don't start.
Wahala don't come.
Exactly. Things will start changing within that period of time, and those are the little prices that you pay distance. In the online relationship, these are some of the things that happen there. You only get a representation of the person, but not the person himself. The hormones that are supposed to be stimulated, AKB, holding breast with your hands is different from seeing breast with your eyes.
When you be
okay now, when
when you Kenya say what are most
I gave Bobo good on Sabbath somewhere when no cremu now.
What are the most
What do crowd 9? Now when in nation when you tia or hinitia, but when sir as much minyaya minyaya and all the two. One feel cry, they say, if you move phone so online for no, if you move phone so I near me guso. Through the online, people have tried stick to watching of pornography just to achieve that kind of intimacy you would have had physically.
Yeah.
To some extent, just for people to achieve the physical intimacy, you have two partners who are online and they start masturbating, leading to another form of then when they meet this time, the sex they are supposed to have physically doesn't even become interesting anymore, because they are used to self-stimulating themselves. Women get attached to sex toys because of the online, to sex toys, to the extent that now when the man comes into the picture, who can compete with battery? Bema bang and a between the battery ako competition.
Because mahin
between mahin ko competition. Enti obeba no adwuma bi obebo bia enkosi aga, because mahin asa bia in that is all in the name of trying to achieve that physical intimacy that we are. But when it comes to the emotional intimacy, yes, the communication that we talk day in and day out, if we work the work, we can achieve a certain level of emotional intimacy. Though in urgent matters such as comfort, consoling, all the things blended together, you may not have it when you need to talk to your partner, maybe at an urgent time. Due to time differences, they may be up or they may be asleep. It worries a little. It worries a little. Physical intimacy is one of the challenges in that space. But aside physical intimacy, people are able to manage the emotional side, and then the spiritual side. Couples can pray together, make time to pray together. If they believe in meditation, they can make time to do it online. Then online has made it very easy for us. And when you can even praying on the phone and praying in physical, it's a different thing altogether. Yes, altogether. But they can still manage, and depending on the person. I'm very much particular about who than the other aspect, because it depends on the individual. Some individuals can survive, others will make a mess out of themselves. Yes. Trust. Let me talk about trust. This is one of the roads to intimacy, is building trust. There is a case that came across my desk, and this burger has CCTV cameras in the house.
Hey.
And when burger calls, they don't call with normal credit most of the time online. All burger calls are video. What the motor sukrabe pick? You better pack and pick. Why? Because there are trust issues. Who is the one talking? Why did the person say this? And the little thing you do these days, burger for are very suspicious about the whole little thing. And the more it continues, accusations upon accusations, then trust comes down. And when all these things happen, intimacy in those relationships could be affected.
All right. So you've talked about two challenges when it comes to the online relationships, which is the intimacy and then trust. Are there any more challenges that online relationships go through?
Yes, AKB.
What are the other challenges apart from the trust and then the intimacy as well?
As for the trust emotionally, there are challenges emotionally also. Challenges emotionally, because when you are the time you want your partner, you may not get him. You may not at all. You may not have him as other people. You may feel alone in that space, because the person you are with is not there to go with you. The online, yes, some there are nipa ne okwa obe share 2 years. Nan saying, you can WhatsApp how do you call it? You can WhatsApp the birth semen for childbirth online. Okay, you may, even if you started the relationship online, says, hey, well, says I'm put there to me and cancer it to me amount for if anything wedding online. People do wedding online. And the deception could be there. We have filters these days. You think you are looking at a woman who has a spotless face. Oh, talking about it, okay, you have a very spotless face.
Maybe I never
form. My example. So there could be a risk of deception and misinterpretation. Okay. At the end, when the way you are seeing the person is different from the way the person is, and we now know how makeup has come into the industry, and the women are so they are so used to it that sorry no pa or no obetumi ahye time you have friend bia no etwi no dey twen
who say make I say sometime yeah chewadwen bi sa they met on Facebook, blah blah blah, and the guy now invited the lady to come. A plane ticket from Accra. Obai ebedru ya. Hey, bebe ko hwe na obana. To say you say this is not what I bargained for. Just airport where sighting a plane when go back. This is not what I bargained for, because it's like you're saying, maybe a side.
Yes.
You don't know what is down.
Yes, yes. And see, it is very challenging. It's very, very challenging. It can be very, very.
But that makeup deception, no crap. Physical one come deceive you.
Deceive.
One say obi a osiwi na ire no.
Say they.
Or say obana deceiving was still for deception. Just say from before they married, anytime he saw the lady was in makeup.
Okay.
And even when they married, from the moment the woman enters the washroom, by the time she comes out, she's wearing the makeup. So the man hadn't seen the wife like the natural
way before.
Yes. And the day the man chanced on her, natural, say, oh, this one there is deception. You have deceived me, so I'll sue you for divorce. I'm seeking for divorce. This is this. Abrocheri, I want to say they can do
Oh,
anything.
yes.
Yes, or siwi obano.
Yes.
Or siwi, because it was that. Because what he's been seeing, no, and the natural one he saw, no, Charlie. Now, difference, no.
The natural one you saw.
That difference,
no. Deception is one of the biggest challenge in the online.
Okay.
The deception and misinterpretation. Most of the actions that people do can be misinterpreted. Yes. You may not. It's not what it seems. Sometimes Ubeti will be voice when there is a call. Ubeti can say me cry and found. But since you may take it to be something that has been with you. Nipa tuntum betumi adane nipa koko betumi adane nipa tuntum. All this fakeness in the system is prone online. Online there are a whole lot of wahala on the online, and you are limited in a case because you only see the person's voice, but you know, to know people's body language in their environment is very important. The only person you talk to, the only time you talk to your partner is only one-on-one.
Okay.
You don't see your partner in an environment to even assess certain characters of his. Also, Babia, are very nice. Only boy Pia, are very gentle. Or did he come or we saw a dear come? Wait until he's among his or her friends. Honor to me say Jimmy Batanipa. Or to me, yen nyama bebre. In fact, one of the best ways of assessing your partner is when they are in their natural environment. When they are among friends, you can observe their behavior and make very good conclusions. But somebody in this distance relationship may not have the opportunity to look at the non-verbal cues, actions that have more meaning. You know, we know action speaks louder than words. Yeah, there are a lot of, but most of the time, your inaction speaks also very loud to certain things that we are having. And we are speaking about the emotional challenge.
Yeah.
Time zone is also a critical factor. Sometimes the person is far away. He's somewhere that you are not. Ghana, oh sorry, no be that. Oh that no be sorry. And some will tell you I didn't see all frail at the time I was done. To me and sorry. And it can cause a lot of discomfort, a lot of fight. Technology, you tend to also rely too much on technology. Ada data besa and answer bibi beko off now boka na jeka. Boga so na wo friend na say wa mfa na wejai into be anything. It is how they did we also crap power bank and then as for when it's distance also sometimes you may lack support, social validation. When you say the only enjoyment you have is you know what we friend to ma papa shoe papa bag see na ukura among for jealousy so dress there, but you know how society tags sa nyama we. Wo nipa no kra, wo oba kra, to some extent to the female side. Uni obi kasakra, people think
they suspect you.
Exactly. There is suspicion around you all over. You can't be yourself. Nipa nka okunu o habit within asre in an environment won't to mean nipa nsre if you say obi say all fro obi kra so mbeye dwuma wo fie kra mawa na akoda ne asem. Society can destroy you. Obi wan say 1 2 ya frɛ okunu. Sometimes I don't know. You don't know how your husband will even get the information, but he will get the information that a man has been working in your house these days. You have been talking to somebody all the way, and it can be one critical aspect of distance that also makes intimacy a challenge in online relationship. Is conflict resolution.
Okay.
Very critical. So muja say a phone. What we do for bosumi mienu. Wakato. Oh, I block you. I block you. Make the block. And you before by I know the block. 3 seconds know the block. Ne won't turn yema. Who be the block? Oh, I'm block you.
Better when you pan resolve.
Oh,
more issues.
Say, but physically to what? Uber for them room. Oh yeah, there will be few. Ubani a ye duani a shentari bi ebe. Say, before that's over honor. Okay, so physically you could have situations where you could have used some techniques, your woman techniques and your flair, to solve those critical issues. Now, in the online manner, it's not there. The person can decide to go angry. Time of PBR, no, we release a friend say, time of PBR, no, we release it. I'm blocking.
We'll be a quan.
Unblock you cry. Say, mu be solve you, moon solve you. I mean, say apology bebo, say apology bow. Sometimes you have to compromise. Now more to associate. Now events are piling. You see, because you are not physically present to solve some of this conflict resolution. Your conflict resolution skills are not tested. You wouldn't know your man or your woman very well to even know how to get to the portion is his better place, in most of the situation. It will only happen when both of you find a way out. Then there is also an uncertainty. When time I need pay beba. Oh, ebia a year meba. A year meba. A year meba. Even when it comes to Tamale Accra or even Boga Accra. Oh, Tabe number best rami. The longness for the person to come, the preparation. Abroche the end the bubruja because I don't know. Sister, can you imagine? It's a yakase kura. Yasi bi mupe. Bogas ni bi yasi bi mupe. Omote Ghana. They are in Ghana. They've told them that this December, when I come, I'm going to see to things. Go and see your parents. And you can imagine, it is not concrete. There's a plan that December I'm going to come. But also, whether you get the resources to come, can you imagine how long it's going to be? Oba, watch out, 30 days. Those who have good work, maybe a month, 60 days. Oba, within the first 60 days, Okomo Bushia, no achele kakra, don't mean worry immediately. Obesa baby she's another 2 years old. If you're 2 years, nobody will be 2 3 sabako.
Now Bantama 1 year.
Bantama 1 year, ha. No about if you are bad this time or the preparation about or 2 3 say we not so me call me baby wa. Into relationship and can be a bit deep if you can crave na ma worry no. It is going to spend about years for you people to be able to accomplish. If the person is well settled, now they be so obi horse or any papers.
Don't me cram.
Ma. Until you are here hoping, say, bibi nyama be ko yi ama no na waba na matumi you become so uncertain.
One hwe paper sem kwa worry.
One hwe ya na paper 70 o. Paper 70. In fact, majority kura etumi worry.
You Dina Horma, Banti, Miss Remo. If you are doing the listening, it is 12 minutes past 9 o'clock. I promise from 9 onwards I'll open the phone line. So you can join the conversation on 037 2099141 or 0249 You can either contribute to our discussion, or if you have an experience about online relationship you want to share with us, you can also join the discussion. You can call and then share it with us on 0249 or 037 That is to us.
Aha. Let me can say, and so you are on setting. You don't know uncertainty, no, edosu, ewo hono. Then AKB, one thing is also privacy. Online relationships. Privacy is very critical in our days. And we know that we have phones, but most of us don't know how to protect our privacy when it comes to the phones. There are instances where intimate pictures, intimate videos of couples who are trying to, stick together online have found their ways on internet, in the public domain, and that brings shame and all these things. Those videos and pictures are sold. They post them online just as people post things on YouTube to make money. They are posted online to also make money. Enti ucha osi chadie chire mi. Ucha na usuru. You say fachire mi. Now yem shisho. Would this person be able to keep my private matter private? And all these things. Never wing in a shisho that it doesn't help in the online relationship, intimacy, building intimacy online. And one thing is also, you see, you have to build a schedule trying to balance. You are living two lives, literally. You are living life as a Ghanaian within the Ghanaian time. Then you are living life as an American within the American time. Because whilst you are tired, you want to sleep. Probably that is when he is up. So you have to be talking late night. And all these things can cause a lot of stress for the individual when it comes to intimacy on online relationship. These are some of the challenges that people go through. There are others we could discuss later.
Okay, thanks very much. So we are discussing our online relationships. How is it equally meaningful and fulfilling as the offline ones, or the physical or the face-to-face relationships, the in-person ones? Is it equally meaningful and fulfilling as well? Looking at how intimacy has actually evolved. We've just looked at the challenges that are in online relationships. Yes, we can't say it's only online relationships that has challenges. Even the in-person ones, there are a lot of challenges. As you are doing the listening, you can join us on 0249 0249 or 037 2099141 037209941. If you're also watching us on Facebook, you can share your thoughts with us. Maybe you have an experience with online relationship, you can share it with us. So Titus, you've talked about the challenges of online relationships. Yes, most of the in-person ones we know. Okay, the other side too could be the challenges for the in-person ones. It's also a challenge. You will not get it that much in the online relationship. So my question here is that between online relationship and then the face-to-face or the in-person one, which is easier? But before you come in, a captain says that very interesting topic, closely monitoring. Good evening to you, and your listeners. Captain, we miss you so much. Good evening to you as well. And thanks for monitoring us as always on Facebook. So, Titus, weighing the two, okay, the two challenges, which one do you think it's easier? Online relationship or the face-to-face, the in-person?
Okay. Which one is easier? Depending on the person. Nipa ben, you see, the personality of an individual will determine which one the person will go for. But if I should be biased a little bit and then go through how human beings have evolved, we have come to the point where we are social beings. Okay, so if we are social beings, then it means that we are meant to be closer to each other, one way or the other. I would say online relationship maintenance, okay, the maintenance of online relationship is a little easy.
Okay.
Because you are not there. The talking is very little. Makasa broswa, mukasa 1 hour, 2 hours, mukasa 1 hour, 2 hours. In fact, that place you even get more conversation than in the physical.
Yeah.
Physical means in the physical environment it's quicker. Mukasa bibiri.
As and when.
As and when.
Baby are not asa.
Asa.
Mutu okra munim koma mubebo.
That because makaning in every. But in the online one, afina, it's like catch up. Preview of the latest episode, Sahaba. The always series episode. The episode you miss, you are trying to fill the gap. Most of the time. But in terms of unwediane, obi an kan kire say of course I don't know bosses no median in ready obi emuna me kan kire say ni say unsenior ma untumi complain who te bie ni honom
just say the first can
be fine I yeah man yeah so go anu na udia I imagine those whose husbands are away, the only when their husband is coming they are very excited. After 1 week, excitement because
only
one go bet me indomie amount kwalam. Now okobrania be fie ni de. Wonim so kunu so de indomie ni na se for no. Enya de
enya ne lie.
There also ofufuo. Ofufuo ba ko first day ofufuo ni de o de nije na eye.
Okay.
Na watchi mu de.
That is my calling yes Hello.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Good evening. Also, ja.
Ma.
How are you?
By grace.
And Happy New Year to you.
Same to you and my uncle.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the show, yes.
Captain as well.
Yeah, Captain is listening.
Uncle Kawawa and all.
All right, so let's hear you on the
topic. The online one, excuse me, so it's just like buying fish which is sold in water.
Buy fish in water. The fish is still in water. Meanwhile, you bought it.
you have some are you didn't pay for it when you have not even seen it. Okay. And some are still bargaining.
Okay.
As to how much to pay.
All right.
You see, some of us believe that marriage does not necessarily mean to produce children.
Okay.
To come, you live together, you help yourselves in living. But when the opportunity comes that you have children, fine. Others do believe that depending on where you are coming from, the geographical region that you are coming from, the region that you are coming from, especially we Africans. Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Come and open the gate.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Sorry to disturb. Listeners, forgive me.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, you say, they say the man, he's married. Oh, he also is married. You know, I brand new. When they call pictures out, display area brand new. Meanwhile, where is the brand? If the brand is not there online, you can produce. If even you have a chance of going there once a year or years, or the person, that woman is coming to you in Africa, the likelihood of you not getting a child with her or him is very high.
Okay.
And you know, our locals, they will say that they can insult you. You have a picking, and then women too, they are there. If their friends are giving birth, and then they say one day they will take and insult you, what will happen? But the physical distant ones, you'll be there. Some of these physical ones, they are so chronic that very troublesome that you wish you had gone the online way. Like Uncle has already spelled out some of the disadvantages and advantages. So it varies from place to place. So the online there, I will not go there.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
That is my little decision. With time, I can come in.
Okay.
When there is time for me to come in again.
All right.
Ma, thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Osoja.
Uncle, I salute you. We are learning a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is also a online relationship to say near water fish. Not fish dance room. Water fish na go dance room, you know. Or no dear, one fish my fish in dance room, na lie. Fish there, no way you fish. Yes, you have point and kill.
And you
point here. You are the other man. We have to mal good in our own fish that Engusun Sumu than a lie. So we're looking at the one that is easier when it comes to the
yes. Online the end of the day. A dear be no answer picture and I'll bet you catch them in no chat. Correct. We show you feel scared it may fall in the wrong hands, or your partner may not take good care of it in one way or the other. But there is nothing like, oh, I'm tired. You know, the physical.
I got a headache.
I got a headache. The winning money. Those things are not there. Freedom. Free. In fact, a free buntu. What to now we still confirm time idea depend member. And you see, we sometimes see these things as a nuisance in relationship, but it's what makes the relationship beautiful. Okay. They're my bread, they're main view, there's certain drama. These days, I know people are running away from relationship drama, but the relationship drama is what makes the relationship. Without drama, nipa no bedwin say won shut down, don't know shut down peno bisa. Online relationship no there. Yes, there are challenges of nipa ni ho ni na sefo, but it's very easy. They open away. Oh, otina bruchiri, aduane open odi.
I don't dear.
Time open order. Obefia obetumi aka say ye aduane bi wo ka say time we there mintumi nye say aduane akofa asem an any say all those sanya man kitten
it doesn't come in
it
here.
doesn't really come in the burden instead of the things that these are the things that brings people closely together, solving problems, issues, and then as if for any honum sa physical one there. Depending to our hunano, in fact, depending to our hunano, women also know protection, the presence of a man. We've not even spoken about that. One critical thing that we should also know is that Nkwala, the fruit of the relationship, the marriage, is very critical. Their upbringing is different when there is a father in the house. Now, when there is a father physically present in the house, children grow up differently. When there is a father not present but present. So what I say, the presence is not there, but the father is present. It means oni ho nipadua ne nifi, but there are avenues oma the presence to be felt by the children, constant talking to them, and also different. Na say kra de and also kra so different in kwala and also mama nkwa wadane father
and
mother at the same time. One thing, it can be one thing that we don't monitor is that when our wives perform the role of a husband, it tends to change them. It's a song. So by a meme juma will fake biblia. You know, you are used to making all decisions by yourself. Before go ahead and now green light, you know. Obi say time beko. Inti nyama bi wo honoma, you make the decision by yourself most of the time. Only for your husband to come and say you are not consulting him in doing so. It becomes your default.
Yeah.
Say, adian miame to me nti ukunu be fia one fia e wa kofa nsem bia ba say na we bibi kra it's just because of what the distance has created. Enkwala ni nyini nso etumi echia kakra emema e wo senka omo nyini se mema obo se mema nyini no manda ne ma emma e wo se ko muhu senia bema do obafa in a physical environment omo nye hu sa emema also musua they have to learn how to take care of women, how to take care of home, how to these things are learned when you are in close proximities. If you don't take care, one of your female children may have daddy issues, absentee, and it could become a whole lot of wahala for you. So the women strive extra harder to maintain the home in a single in an online those online relationship and in that sense.
Hey, sir. Yo, Philip Boy, say I really like the topic. Thanks very much, Philip Boy, wherever you are. Thank you very, very much. And as we looking at the evolution of intimacy, you know, when it comes to intimacy, it has really, really, really evolved. So, Titus, the point is whether we like it or yes. As intimacy has evolved, people are in this online relationships. A lot of people are into it, especially when it comes to the distance relationship and all that. As we said, the distance now becomes an online relationship because once your husband or your wife is not here and you communicate, you only see each other on the internet, either through phone call or video call or whatever. It has become an online relationship thing, online thing. Because maybe you see each other every year or every 2 years or whatever. It has automatically become an online kind of relationship. So how can you make your online relationship really succeed?
Well, nothing should last forever. The onlineness shouldn't last forever, because remember we are saying we are building intimacy. There should be a timeline. There should be a plan right from the beginning to establish both of you to come together in one environment. That should be the plan. Immediately you find yourself in a situation where either your marriage is an online marriage. Most of the time, when it's a relationship, it stays online. But when it gets to marriage, you work to come together and live and cleave. Very important in the relationship. For a relationship to work, I mean, building intimacy to that level where you proceed from that relationship state into a marital stage, both of you must dedicate yourself to it.
Okay.
You see, sometimes, I have come to understand that this time people shouldn't keep their problems or challenges in their head. You have to talk it out. What are you seeing? You have to be committed to it. Know that this journey, these are some of the things that are likely to happen. Things are not what they seem. You know, most of this relationship that ends up when you meet online, when you start online, when everything is happening online, the next is take steps to break the line. Break the line and go offline so that you can establish certain basic facts together, both you and the person. But it won't keep online forever.
Okay.
Inti munya share online neswa makasa kakra, try to go offline, meet, go back to your online because distance is still a factor. Then at the end of the day, maybe you can try bring it. Maintain regular communication, very critical anchor in online relationship. Regular. Both of you should sacrifice time. Be there. When you say you are calling 10 o'clock and you can't call, make sure you let the person know that at 10 I won't be available, so I wouldn't call. These are things, it will also try to build trust from that aspect. Gradually. Set rules. If you decide to get trusting me, if that is also something you are going to do in your, both of you accept to do it, I won't advise that do it or not. But if both of you accept to do in that, to bridge that gap, find a secure means. Let your partner know how secure you are keeping those things, knowing that when this thing should get out. I mean, Nipano is willing to give you this thing anytime you ask for it. So why keep it on your phone in the first place? If you want it tomorrow, she will give it to you. Today, she'll give, the next day she will give it to you. So learn sense. After you are done with what you want to do with it, try as much as possible to take it away so that you can keep your privacy, to build trust with the opposite person. Also manage emotions.
Okay.
Very, very important. Very, very important. If you don't manage your emotions very well, it means you are going to, when conflict arises, both of you may not find any acceptable grounds to solve it. Pick rules, state rules and regulation for a relationship if you want to maintain this online relationship. It means that when we are angry, what should we do? When I'm angry, what shouldn't I do? We shouldn't stop talking to each other for more than 24 hours. So when anger comes, all of us have 24 hours to resolve this and come back together. And you must stick to it. It means that whether you are angry or not, we have to find a way of talking. And then when you set those constant rules for you and your partner, it means you can work towards maintaining it. It's a very complicated world out there. Okay, very complicated world. The disadvantages are vast. There are certain things you may see with your eyes and you'll be okay, but since you are there, you must do it. All these things we are talking about is to build trust. Okay, the constant communication, you must be open and honest. Open and honest. In fact, if you are talking in the evening, line up your itinerary. I'll be going here from here to here at this time, here and there and there. If any of it changes, you must let your partner know that, there is a slight change in my itinerary for today. I may go here, come here, whatever it is. You are building trust. You are building trust. Then, when you follow some of these tips, you can be able to maintain and be original of yourself and not a photocopy of it. Okay. Be open, be truthful. Don't hide things. Ask questions also, because if you don't ask questions, you may not know the truth about it. Okay, see how can you depend if I plane code through akwana boka ocha plane ticket plane ticket akodru the
what I ordered versus what I got.
So ask questions. Are you plumpy? Are you chubby? Are you slim? I mean, give me some vital statistics. If the person is not with, send you a recent picture, those things to give you a picture crack can be Photoshop.
Men I'm so.
Those things can give you a brief idea about some of these things. And sometimes we science it can be, you if you listen very well, sometimes you can have clues and cues as to certain things about certain people. Okay, when you ask the right questions and you listen very well, you can get some clues and cues about people that they are not willing to tell you. Okay. So we should pay attention when people are expressing themselves in the online environment. They will try to make a mistake or something for you to know really about them. It won't give you the total guarantee when you are in close proximity with the person, but it will help you maintain until both of you meet together. You know, as for human being, the fact that you long to see someone can sustain. It's emotional, it's hormonal thing. But as soon as you see the person finish, then that is where the issue comes in. Most online relationships end after sex, when they meet and they have sex. And that is another wahala altogether. You must manage that expectation until you are able to be sure about certain environment. People feel used. He has used me. As soon as he met me, he has ghosted me, and all those things are things that are circling in the online environment.
All right. So, Captain says that online relationships can indeed be meaningful and fulfilling. However, they require intentional effort to overcome inherent challenges. The effectiveness of these connections largely depends on the individuals involved, specifically their willingness to communicate openly and authentically. As technology continues to evolve, so too will the dynamics of intimacy in both online and offline context. Embracing the strengths of both forms of connection while being mindful of their limitations can lead to enriched interpersonal experiences that transcend traditional boundaries. Okay, so Captain, once again, thanks very much for your contribution. So, because of the Chewaju, so we do hear a lot of these stories.
Yeah.
There was this lady whose husband is outside the country, and the man has built a house, self-contained, and she's living in the house with her mother-in-law, and not knowing the lady is cheating. She has a boyfriend.
Okay.
And having a boyfriend, because the boyfriend even comes to the house there.
Wow.
The house that your mother-in-law is in.
That's a brave woman.
Seriously. So there was this day the boyfriend came to the house, but he sneaks in without the mother-in-law seeing him. So whatever he came out to do that day with shorts, or should I say underwear.
Yes.
And then the mother-in-law spotted him, and knowing very well that she's only in that house with the woman. There's no man in that house. When she saw the man, the guy also saw him, and then he ran away. The woman shouted, "That thief!"
The thief, yes.
Thief, because they are not in that house with any man. And when the lady also came, the lady also joined the mother-in-law, and also started shouting, "Thief, thief, thief!" Omochi bema no bo no yebunuku no. So So that is one aspect. The other aspect is that those out there, especially the men who are there, the next thing I bet is say, "Oh, krata semunti." Maware. Yes, I'm maware. So tiase.
Makubia bete. Yes, obema na kachere me yere se onko court nko jai na ware. Ewa ha. Sine be obetumi aware nya pepes. Oh, enya hwe akosi akode kokoko. Kora ko jai me. Sine be ametumi aware bro ni na me nya krata nkwara ndi se bibia ye okay a bibia
Na sambe waro. Ayeka.
Oko jai ni be the person divorce certificate send the beba no.
Asa.
Papa, one thing and kabi.
Hey! Where we no?
Ajeta.
Atai.
Bema oba no so an kan kire busu ni bia o.
And okoye.
Okoye.
Oh. Edio.
Ajeta.
Tina Abbas said, wow, I really like the topic. God bless you all. Watching you live at Solar. Say. So this online relationship, from these scenarios that we have just given, doesn't it encourage cheating?
It's cheating, you see, whether online or offline, cheating will exist. People, I don't see why we have much concern about cheating. We shouldn't really be concerned about it. As long as there is mosquito, there will be malaria. Okay, as long as there is marriage. If marriage is not there, where is teaching? Cheating.
Cheating.
Exactly. If our real one there, cheating has to be there. Our real one there, side chicks must be there. Because I can't want them warrior in your dignity, sa cleanness, that aura.
Hey, Titus.
I'm telling you.
Titus.
No. AKB. OJ said, you see, anywhere, I don't know whether you understand. Marriage is honorable because there is cheating and because there are side chicks.
How can cheating and side chicks make marriage honorable?
It's because, you see, social vices and they may know what good is. Without bad, will we see good? Exactly.
Titus,
bad in you are. Bad in you are.
Titus, argument.
There'll be a ecosystem. Okay? In an ecosystem. Okay. No matter what, udi dia, udi fa we no. By all means, I will say if I baby a day, AP. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
In an ecosystem, your friend BB feeding. There are different kinds of feeding. There are parasites that feed on you, causing harm to you. Symbiosis, where you are attached to the plant but not killing the host, but rather getting nutrient. Nothing promotes anything. They are there. They exist in the ecosystem. A jungle. In the jungle, the lion must feed. The side chicks must eat. Men must do what they have to do in their space. When you look at all this, it's individual. There are women who stay for years. 2 years. And 2 years, she will be there. She won't touch. Obetna ama ni kununo aba betono. There are men they are questionable kakra. For the men, I won't defend you today. But there are women who can tolerate.
That is the Yemfa call. Hello?
Hello, okay. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Captain.
What I try to say.
Nyame adumboko nabonswe.
I like the analogy and analysis that my big brother is doing over there. I think it's very interesting. Also about commensalism, parasitism, the rest. I mean, they are important. I mean, it is. But I think one other aspect I wanted to touch.
Okay.
It's the fact that it looks like my senior brother is looking at outside the borders relationship or marriages. But you know, my this thing that I sent with regards to my comment now,
yeah.
I was a bit specific. You know, with the way things are going now, with this level of digitization, the way our contemporary ways of marriage is not are going. You could even be married to somebody in Tamale. I see your work schedule will not permit the both of you to live continuously for like maybe a week or even 2 months together.
Okay.
So you are married in Tamale, but the husband or wife works somewhere in Accra, in Kumasi, in Tampo or somewhere. Right. So I feel like balancing the two is the ultimate. right? And we need to be very clear and come clean in dealing with this online intimacy relationship, no offline intimacy relationship, or how you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it looks like we are focusing so much on the outside borders.
Yeah.
And no, a different ball game altogether.
Okay.
But we shouldn't also take it out or rule it out that people are married, they are in the same town, they are in the same villages, but they are more like not living together. So we cannot do with the traditional physical way alone.
Okay.
You know, the online relationship also has its pros, you know, and the pros are very weighty. I mean, when I say weighty, they are weighty. You know, most people are able to express themselves when they are not in person.
Okay.
You know, people can tell you how they feel, they can tell you what is going on within them, what they think, and they can even share with you how they perceive certain things. Because face to face, so he can tell you whatever it is. But I believe that when we come assertively, when we come so clean as partners, you know, it rather enhances the relationship or marriage and spicing it up. So, in as much as we are looking at the positives where my big brother was talking about the physical hormones like the serotonin, the dopamine, which that one need physical contact, you know. I believe that if we're able to establish the fact that even in our absence, even in our point where we cannot be together, no, in our absence, no, we can still share that feeling. Okay. We can still have that feeling and still feel good regardless. Yeah, the other aspect of nudity, it is another discussion for another time.
Okay.
But AKB, I'm telling you, I mean, the advent of social media, the advent of technology is really spicing up relationship. It is spicing it up more than we can look at it from the bad side.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think bad also, young guys now bad also. I mean, managing it is a problem. But I feel like if you are both matured and we are ready to use both sides, it's really going to help. So let's look at it holistically. Yeah, but I understand where my big brother is coming from. But I'm also looking at it because but I mean, we don't even get a time to stay with our partners.
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't also mean that the love or the relationship or whatever it is not there. But it's about how you holistically approach the situation, and I tell you, it will be better. But all in all, it's been a very good topic. I've enjoyed it. I wish I was a studio guest to speak more to it. I don't want to take the shine from my big brother. Let me allow him tell us more. I'm also educating myself. So Thank you so much for this time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Captain. We appreciate your contribution as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you too.
So that's Captain.
Yes. I understand what Captain is saying, but what's all along I've separated the online from the offline. I'm dealing with each of these situations differently. I've not combined them, but a combination of the two is the way to go. Okay, we are not taking the facts, those facts away that in our current modern relationship, you can't just be one. As he stated, work, among other things, are some of the challenges that we are faced with. Busy schedule all over the place, traveling here and there. There are some work, if you get into it, you are always on the road.
On the way, yeah.
So you have to carry your relationship along. We should also bear in mind that when you carry your relationship on the road, it has its toll, it has its flair, it has its aroma, it has its flow. You see, sometimes somebody will tell you that there is no bad situation. The badness comes out of how you deal with the situation. Something you will fail at and it will destroy your marriage. Somebody goes through and it strengthens their marriage. The difference is the people the incident happened to. This cheating you mentioned, it breaks people's marriages. The same cheating makes people's marriage stronger because of how people deal with it. Some will see it, forgive, some will see it, and that is the end to end. Each individual tolerance level and how they have built up themselves over a period of time comes into play.
Okay.
So in my submission, I've separated the online from the offline. I have not condemned any of the aspect of offline or online. We are only highlighting some of the challenges they bring, some of the joy they also bring to people. Yes, probably my focus has the distance. I have widened the distance,
yes,
but
yes,
yes, even you can, both of you two will be in the house and still, but it's still the same thing. You can close the distance in your mind. Even if I'm saying somebody Accra, London, Accra, and you know that your husband or partner goes away, communication is still critical. Letting them know where you are going here and there. If your husband or your spouse is the paranoid type, always suspecting, always has issues with where you are going to be, then constant communication. If your routine changes, he may need to be notified in that way. All those things are still there. I mean, it doesn't matter if the distance is Accra, Kumasi, or Accra, Tamale,
London,
or somebody who
whatever
you are living with, but moves along within certain periods. The challenges faced by somebody in Accra may be bigger than yours, but the challenge still pertains, and the challenge still exists. As long as it is offline or online, the challenges will be the same. But how big the challenge will be depend on probably sometimes the distance. The wider the distance, probably the bigger the longness. I mean, obi a nukunu to kwan 1 month there. So oba obeba fi obeba around. Wo de na wo to kwan ko baby on 2 years ni there. Sebi on the 1 month anya kra obetumi nya bibi ate no hot so. Wo de 2 years, wo between 2 years. 2 years kra ansa nipa naba. So yes, the situation exists in both. No matter the distance, the challenges are there. The same commitment you will need to communicate or to get a relationship of somebody who lives abroad, you will need that same kind of commitment and that same kind of willingness for someone who travels. Only that when he comes home, you now have him in the house. But when he goes, you must be intentional about some of the things you do. Probably maybe even difficult, because you are used to closeness. Now all of a sudden the person is away, you must switch and doing that thing. So communication is critical. Is if your trust is going down, communicate.
So you switch, and probably when he goes away for maybe some months, you now get used to being alone, having your full sleep every night. Maybe he comes, maybe within that week, that excitement is there. After that, you miss your loneliness.
So relationship has become dynamic these days. And to say first, these days you can get angry for nothing. You can get angry at your spouse for absolutely nothing, because whatever you do, there's this theory that is developing that women want their men to be the same. Men want their women to remain the same, but women want a change in their husband. But it's opposite rather. Men tend to remain the same most of the time, but women change. Their physicality change. Obana or a different from Obana or a different from the woman who has given birth to one. She's different from, in fact, the birth cry, if she gives birth to a man, is different. All these things that we are going through, the phases we are going through, requires people to adjust, and communication is very critical in that sense. If you are not communicating on an online environment, if you are not communicating well, then your chances of survival is very less. It's very small in that space. If you can't adapt to change in any of this environment we are speaking about, that is also means your chances are very scarce. You must just make good use of the moment. Both of you should talk. This is how we can adjust. My environment has changed. This is how we can adjust. When you keep on sharing that view, I think you can come to the level where you can make it very much exciting. Have dinner on Zoom, go out on people are surviving. You can do it. You have to be creative, constant thinking.
Creative, yeah, dinner on Zoom, dear son.
Oh yes. If you don't know. Then I top plate when you want to me dia and no Martinasi. No more did no more kasa. More share more home. So there are so many ways to make it exciting, to make it long. It's research has shown that distance doesn't take much from of online relationship. They can thrive. You can enjoy it just as somebody who has the husband in the house. All depend. The person having the husband at home must put in effort. The person whose husband is away must also put in effort. Yeah, to just maintain. So munina look at that.
It needs effort.
What you are lacking
to
here,
make it work.
Somebody will get it there. What you are getting here, somebody will lack it there. Know who you are and know how to adjust according to the kind of environment you're coming from.
Okay, thank you very, very much. It's 2 minutes to the top of the hour. And we're wrapping up like that. So, talking about evolution of intimacy, and with this online kind of relationship, what advice would you have, especially for the youth out there?
I would say that intimacy has been easier. Online internet has made intimacy easier.
Okay.
You can carry your wife along. You can carry your girlfriend along wherever you are. You may lack physicality in certain times, but the other aspects of intimacy is still available for you to sustain you. I mean, keep you going until you can get the full complement of the physical ones. The dangers are available in whichever situation. Risk is something you can't deal with. Know what you are doing. If you meet somebody online and you start a relationship online, you have equal probability of success as someone you have met if you are able to know the dangers and you're able to navigate. If you listen to programs like Love 360, you'll be able to circumvent some of the negativity around it in order for you to get there. Those of us who are married, keep your wives and your husbands along with you. Make conscious effort to maintain and sustain the intimacy in those relationships. Intimacy is nothing that comes. The natural one goes away for a while, but make the effort to grow the intimacy. Keep on talking, keep on communicating about your needs, and we believe that whether offline or online, you can still enjoy the kind of relationship you want.
Thank you very, very, very much, Titus. Today you have become a lone ranger, but you have really dealt with our topic today. Thanks very, very much to you, and also to our listeners and viewers on Facebook as well. Thank you very much, especially Captain, who sent a message and also called in to be part of the program. We really appreciate your time with us, Philip, and also Tina. You also watched, and then you sent in your message as well, and then also Ja. Yeah, that's it, Papa. Yeah, that's it. Nyankopon insure Papa. You always listen, and then you make sure you call in and then contribute. Awesome delivery. Thanks for the education. Thank you once again, Captain. And so this tonight I've been talking to Titus Osei Bobie, who is a marriage counselor. He's been here with me in the studio, and also Godfred. Godfred is our technician on duty, and also took us to Facebook Live. We appreciate it. So whatever it is, intimacy has evolved. So if you're having an online relationship, all you need to do is to make that conscious effort to make it work, just like the physical relationship as well. And trust me, it is as meaningful and fulfilling just as the physical one. Thanks so much. My name is Akusia Kwatma Boachi. We're checking out. Remember, tomorrow is Sunday. Get ready, go to church. Don't stay home and watch church on TV. One on one class, going with TV, so now want to so go to church, please. And preparation begins on Saturday so that you can be on time. Don't be like those who miss intercessory, miss praise and worship. Be a crap preaching, but near halfway. I feel and over Michelle call a sorry and tem. Thanks so much. God bless you. Have a good night and sleep tight as well. We are out like that. Bye bye. See you next week when we come your way with another interesting topic on Love 360. Bye bye.